I'm willing to take full responsibility for the horrible events of the last 24 hours, but you must understand. Our interest in their world was purely for the betterment of mankind. Everything has clearly gotten out of hand now, yes. But it was worth the risk, I assure you.
This is Born Strategist, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about my Doom impressions and asking as well as answering the following question, which is, should you buy it? Now, I'll be the first one to say that I haven't got an opportunity to finish the Doom campaign, and unlike a lot of the games I play, I haven't really ventured into multiplayer, nor do I have any plans on doing so. But the reason why I'm mentioning that to you is because even though I may not particularly care for the style of multiplayer that Doom has, I have thoroughly enjoyed the campaign thus far. As a matter of fact, it's one of the most satisfying games to go through simply because it's very fast paced and you could actually have a great deal of fun shooting a bunch of slimy shit. And it looks great because it runs at 1080p and 60 frames per second. With all these different weapons to choose from, it's always a good way to fucking unleash some aggression on a bunch of dumb AI controlled enemies. Although if you do manage to bump it up to the higher difficulty settings, rest assured you will get a challenge and they will give you a fucking run for your money. Now, the question though that I asked initially was, should you buy it? Now, if you were to ask me at this point in time with the lack of variety, I would say no, simply because it is a $60 game. Okay. Now, if you were to get it maybe at, $40, then yes, by all means go right ahead because that's definitely worthy of that price point. But $60 is a little too much for me simply because I didn't particularly care for the multiplayer, although I'll give them credit, they did include multiplayer. And it didn't have a cooperative mode. Now, if it would have had a cooperative mode, then rest assured I would go ahead and buy it at $60 simply because it would be worthy of that price, simply because you get a good amount of value for your dollar. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't get it because I say so. It just means that I personally would not want to get it for the amount of content that it has. And the campaign is fun, but sometimes you need a little bit more content to make it worthy of that initial price point, which is $60. But if you're a fan of the old school Doom campaigns and you love shooting a bunch of slimy shit, then you're going to gravitate towards this, and it's going to be definitely worthy of the money that you put forth to it. And I would strongly recommend that you do so if you're a huge Doom fan. But if you're not a huge Doom fan and you don't particularly care for the multiplayer, then I would strongly suggest that you wait, and you wait until it drops significantly. Probably to around $40 to $30, because then you'll probably get your money's worth. Otherwise, you may not want to go ahead and waste your time or your cash simply because it's just not going to be one of those games that appeals to you personally. And I'll be the first one to say that if it would have had a cooperative mode and a multiplayer that would have gravitated towards me, then rest assured I would have actually gone out there and gotten it. Now, one of the main reasons as to why I didn't want to get it at full price was simply because I didn't really feel as if I was compelled to play the multiplayer. Not that there was anything wrong with it, it just didn't appeal to me personally. And it kind of suffers from the same issue that I have with Destiny's multiplayer in that, once you charge a super, you can go ahead and unleash a great deal of devastation upon whoever the hell is in front of you, or within close proximity to you. And when you get a hold of one of those demons in there, you could just go on a murderous rampage. And what really sucks is if you're, the person that deals the most amount of damage to the boss, but yet doesn't secure the kill, you get fucked to have an opportunity to go on a murderous rampage with the demon, because only the person that kills the demon can become the demon. And I just don't like that. I liked having a good amount of balance within my multiplayer. So I would probably prefer something along the lines of Halo's multiplayer more so than Doom's multiplayer. Not that there's anything wrong with Doom, I just prefer that you wouldn't have that issue with the demon running around just murdering everybody like a unstoppable kill streak. But aside from that, it did have a good campaign, although it didn't have co-op, which really disappointed me. And like I said before, if it had a multiplayer that gravitated towards me and a cooperative aspect to it, then rest assured I would have gotten it, just because, you know, there would have been a good deal of social interaction and competitive gunplay. And that's something I like in a lot of games. But for the single player campaign, it's definitely worthy of your time and consideration, especially if you like shooting a bunch of slimy shit with a lot of very powerful weapons. My particular favorite so far is definitely the shotgun. Shooting shit with that shotgun and just seeing them explode is probably one of the most satisfying ways to utilize a weapon in a video game to this day. And as I said before, and I'll say again, this game really reminds me a lot of any of your AAA first-person shooters with Mortal Kombat. It's a really good combination to have, and it's very satisfying to just walk and wade through an entire army of demonic little bastards that deserve to die. Now, if you're a person that prefers like a multifaceted campaign, meaning that it has a little bit of everything, meaning like a great deal of customization and a sound story and a compelling character, then you're not going to find that here. This is very simplistic. It's basically, here's your guns, here's your armor, go forth and kill crap. And that's pretty much all it is. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because Doom does it quite well, opposed to other first-person shooters that kind of struggle with that formula. They know what this game is, and they do a good job of presenting it to you. Now, that's not to say there isn't a story, because there is. It's just not thrown at you in the traditional way that we've come to see over the past couple of years. Not that that's a bad thing. So, Doom is its own unique entity, and you don't want to change it too much, because if you do, then you'll alienate Doom's core demographic, and you don't want to do that. With that said, what's your thoughts? What's your opinions? Let me know below. Until next time, thanks for watching. And for more objective reviews, strategy guides, commentaries, and more, stay tuned to this channel.